Yeah, Tim Walz, the guy who lost to President Trump and JD Vance. Yet this guy, he's losing his mind on stage, having a mental breakdown. Obviously, this is the type of level that you hit as a Democrat when your polling is just worse than you can possibly imagine. Look at this. This guy is absolutely losing it. Why? Because of the National Guard being deployed to major cities, starting with DC, now going into Chicago, and all these governors are trying to come together to help Mayor Brandon Johnson. Just watch this.
Think of how easy it would be to be a damn Republican. Oh, what should I wear today? This stupid freaking red hat. What should I say today? I don't know. Just make sure it's cruel. Who do we listen to? That guy. Oh, the felon in the White House? Yeah, listen to him and that will be fine. Now he's talking about burning flags. He's going to have flag burning or whatever, because he knows there's a hell of a lot of flags with his picture on it that are going to get burned.
Yeah. So again, having a mental breakdown where, again, Democrats, the polling, you guys know the story. You guys know how bad it is. But it actually gets worse because it's not just Tim Walz. It's not just J.B. Pritzker. It's all of these guys. All of these guys have been losing their minds over the fact that their states are about to be helped. They're about to be helped. I want you guys to take a look at this J.B. Pritzker video where he's also losing his mind. He posted this video early in the morning, right? So he's walking early in the morning downtown Chicago, right? And he's making a video basically saying there's no crimes in this area that he's walking in. Mind you, he's walking where in Lakefront, right? Lakefront, Chicago, the most beautiful part. That's like in New York City, you going downtown somewhere where you know it's beautiful and you know there's no crime there. And anyone who lives in Chicago knows that full well that 6 a.m. on Lakefront is not where the carjackings and murders happen. The governor knows this too, but he thinks the Democrats are stupid. So here's a video of him in Lakefront early 6 a.m.
Well, here I am on the path on the lakefront at 6 a.m. on a Monday. And we got a lot of people running, having a great time. It doesn't feel like a hellhole here. In fact, everybody's having a great time and enjoying themselves. So I don't know who in Washington thinks that Chicago is some sort of hellhole, but
man, I got to tell you, liberals are so out of touch. They're so out of touch because there's many videos of people in Chicago screaming for help, screaming for Tom Homan to come. They don't live in the lakefront. They live in the south side of Chicago. Why don't you go there, J.B. Pritzker? Why don't you go there? Because I think there's about 305 murders already this year. There were 500 just last year. So we're not even through the year yet. So we don't know what could happen. But this guy goes to Lakefront. So Tim Walz, J.B. Pritzker, and now we go to the mayor of Chicago. Again, mayor of Chicago being asked point blank period by Morning Joe, does bring in the National Guard or bring in additional help for the police department, does it help you? Does it help you at all? And this guy can't even answer the question because, again, they're trying to make it seem like there's no crime at all now. Take a listen. This video is brought to you guys by Noble Gold. We have a sponsorship. Let's go shout out to them. If you're getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving. But there is much more that people just don't consider. How much money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding on to cash guarantees one thing. You're losing purchasing power. That's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. And one company that makes it easy is Noble Gold Investments. You can now buy gold or silver, coins or bars, and have them shipped to your home or stored securely. And they don't actually pressure you. Just solid information and real options. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Noblegoldinvestments.com. Go today to noblegoldinvestments.com.
So, like to get federal funding to help put 5,000 more cops on the street in Chicago. Would that help drive down crime?
Well, look, policing by itself is not the full strategy.
No, I understand that. You've talked about the other things you want, and I said those are good and important programs, but I'm asking also, would 5,000 more police officers on the street in Chicago be helpful to go along with all of those social programs that a lot of cities are engaging in and having success with?
Well, look, here's the best way I can put it, Joe, is that in the 90s when I was in high school, we had 3,000 more police officers and we had 900 people being murdered every single year in Chicago. It's just not policing alone. Of course, we want more detectives.
I know it's not policing alone, but I know it's not policing alone. You've told me everything else you want. I'm curious, and this does come down to an ideological difference between people. Do you believe that the streets of Chicago would be safer if there were more uniformed police officers on the streets of Chicago?
I believe the city of Chicago and cities across America would be safer if we actually had, affordable housing. Look,
okay,
I'm not saying that
that's not the question I asked. My question is, and I just need a yes or a no. Do you believe the streets of Chicago would be safer if you got all of those other extraordinary programs put back into place, which do have a history of being successful, if that's complemented by having 5,000 more cops on the streets of Chicago?
I don't believe that we should.
Oh my God. Oh, this is so bad. You know what? I'm done. I'm just done. So the mayor can't answer the question, right? And we know that the results lately in DC have been that there have been criminals that have been taken off the streets, right? This guy's claim, like my claim, is that we must attack the issue of handling and basically bringing programs back, after school programs, things that can make kids growing up not go into gang culture, which I understand completely. The problem with him is that he doesn't want to address the problem now. The problem now is that there's mass murders, there's a bunch of shootings, and I'll show you what's going on in the Bronx in just 1 second. These guys are the problem. These guys who claim that these things don't exist, like JB Pritzker, that literally walks in late front, like as if that's the South Side of Chicago, ignoring black people in the South Side of Chicago while also saying that he's helping black people in the South Side of Chicago. It's ridiculous. But here we go. So I want to show you this clip because I thought this one was even crazier, right? All these Democrats are losing their entire minds. They're all having mental breakdowns over this. Trump has broken their brain. Even if you don't like Trump, you got to admit he's done that part. So Jamie Raskin is trying his best way to basically rationalize with the fact that we don't need a federal takeover of some of these cities where they basically become the higher ups to some of these police departments as they're working hand in hand. And watch what he says, because I think this is where the world that the Democrats live in, which is the world I used to live in, but you can't live in that world anymore because it's not reality. Take a listen.
He's trying to militarize our society, intimidate its political opponents. The whole idea of picking cities based on their partisan leadership is absurd. I mean, there are lots of Republican cities and towns struggling with crime. Everybody is across the country. Always, crime has always been part of our history, and yet crime.
What? Crime has always been part of our history. So why don't come help? Let's just let it be a part of our history. That's exactly what he's saying. Guys, what is he saying here? Crime has always been a part of our history. Why you got to come do all this stuff? It's a part of it. It's just who we are. As a society, we don't got to try to change that. What? Huh? Again, this is the mental gymnastics that I think many Democrats don't realize that they're doing. Nah, man, the hood is just going to be the hood. We can't help that. So do you think low and you don't think we should help? It's so wild to me that all these people scream Black Lives Matter, but they don't care about what's going on in the Bronx. They don't care about what's going on in Chicago. I know this because I lived there. I lived through this. But what's crazy is that in DC, there's no black people getting killed anymore, because we know the numbers were black individuals being shot or murdered. Well, that's going down, which means that, hey, you can scream Black Lives Matter all you want, but the result is right there in front of you by the guy you don't like. So now we go to the Bronx. And again, I told you guys about a fact that I lost somebody that I grew up with. Wasn't very close with him, but I was very close with his family. One of my best friend's brother. Someone that I didn't know, spent some time with growing up, key moments in my life when I was growing up in that neighborhood. He was there. He was around. And what's so wild about this is that in the Bronx, 4 people were shot in the Bronx today in 4 separate incidents within an 8-hour span. 2 of the victims have passed away. An Amazon delivery driver was wounded in West Farms, where I grew up.
New York cops reporting at least 4 separate shootings in a span of just 8 hours.
First this morning in the Tremont section, where police say a 34-year-old man was killed. Then just after 1 this afternoon, there was another deadly shooting in Soundview. And then around 2:30, an Amazon driver was shot in the West Farms section. He is expected to survive.
And then less than an hour later, police say a 26-year-old was shot twice in the leg. This happened in Belmont. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live at the
All in the Bronx. So, telling me the crime is low, but what are you comparing that to? You comparing that to the COVID numbers? Because the COVID numbers were at an all-time high because people were home and it was COVID. But after the COVID numbers or before the COVID numbers, the numbers is just as high as ever. In fact, probably higher. So these people, right? J.B. Pritzker, Jamie Raskin, Brandon Johnson, Tim Walz, they want you to believe that this is all a manufactured crisis. Like this doesn't really exist. And this is one of the main reasons why I think the way I think. Because at the end of the day, I like to see the results. I like to see people try to make a difference. I actually want to see politicians do something about what they said they were going to do. Trump just so happens to really check all those boxes. When you think about what a president could do if he had the power to do it, in which he has power to do it. So again, what are we going to do? What are we doing here? Do you guys think it's a good idea to deploy the National Guard to New York City, to Chicago, to the major cities where crime runs rampant? Let me know.